Hi everyone, so welcome to the first tutorial session for us. We're going to get started with a very cool problem today. We're going to talk about one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. Are you all excited? All right, let's go. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Again, another welcome to everyone. So let's talk about Gauss. I don't know if any of you guys know about Gauss. You might have heard of him before. He's done a lot of stuff in mathematics and physics before. So let's see how it looks like. This is how Gauss looks like. Yeah, I know he's not very young. He's pretty old. He's actually from the 18th century and the 19th century. So he was born in 1777. That means he's like just a couple generations older than us. I would say like a lot of generations. So yeah, this is his date of birth. But hey, guess what? So he's from Germany. So his name with a proper German accent could be Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss. Okay, so you guys have to try to say that with a, I took German for 1 year, so I know how to pronounce that anyways. So he was a pretty smart guy from, very young age, from when he was like 10 years old, and that's actually the story we're going to talk about today. But later in life, he got very inspired by this whole, geniusness that he had. So he decided to, he was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and become a mathematician and a physician. Okay, so we're going to talk about that story today. So one day, this very young version of Friedrich Gauss was sitting in class, and he had a pretty annoying teacher that was completely done with the students. And she was like, you know what, I'm done with you guys. Y'all gonna sit down and do something very dull. And so one of the things that she decided to do was, okay, she was like, okay, I'm gonna make everyone sit down, and everyone has to find the summation from 1 to 100. So you have to go 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, etc., 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 until 100. And so that's pretty hard. I mean, it's not necessarily complex, but it's definitely time consuming, correct? So pretty much what everyone did in the class was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do 1 to 100, and they keep rolling their eyes and whatever, and the teacher was happy because she was done with the students. So basically they went like 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, etc., 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 right? And the numbers started getting pretty ginormous, and obviously people started making mathematical errors, like, calculation and computation errors, because, thinking about how old this story was, they didn't have computers or fancy calculators back then. So, but Gauss, obviously, because he's better than everyone else and is smarter than everyone else, he was like, you know what, I know I have to add numbers from 1 to 100, but I'm going to do something smarter. I want to be the smart kid in the class, and I want to find some patterns. I want to find patterns. Drum roll, please. Alrighty, so he said, you know what, forget about 1 to 100. I'm going to just write numbers from 1 to 10. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to write them backwards. So it's going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so far, nothing fancy. But let me see. If I say 1 plus 10, okay, that gives me 11. If I say 2 plus 9, that gives me 11. If I say 3 plus 8, that also gives me 11. Let me see, if I do all of these additions, right? 4 plus 7, 5 plus 6, etc., etc., everything gives me 11. Oh my God. Okay, well, that's nice. I'm getting somewhere. So how many 11s do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of all of these things. Okay, so basically the addition would be 10 of 11. So 10 times 11. Well, that's not the numbers that I want. It's twice as much as the numbers that I wanted, right? It's twice bigger. So I'm going to just divide it by 2. Okay, 2 by 10 cancels, gives me 5. And now 5 times 11 gives you 55. So the addition of all these numbers is actually equal to 55. Now let's check it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check it with my calculator. It's actually equal to 55. Okay, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Plus 6, 21. Plus 7, 28. Plus 8, 36. Plus 9, 45. Plus 10, 55. Oh my god, it works. It actually works. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like it. Okay, I think it works for everything. I mean, it makes sense, right? I'm just going to add them up. It gives me 11, and I'm just going to have 10 of them because there's 10 numbers. And there's 2 rows, so definitely I'm going to divide it by 10, divided by 2. Okay, it works. So how am I going to make sure, though, that this number is divisible by 2? Okay. I mean, if I have even number of numbers, then I'm Gucci, right? I got it all good. Like, it's even times whatever. Gives me an even number. It's divisible by 2. But what happens if I have an odd number of numbers? So like the numbers from 1 to 37. That's odd. But the number after that is even. So the number that I'm going to multiply it after, which is the number 1 plus that, it's even. Beautiful. I'm again Gucci. Again Gucci. Can divide it by 2. Good. So I'm going to just go ahead and write a formula for this. So if I'm adding up numbers from 1 to 10, then it would be 10 times 11 divided by 2. So if I'm adding up numbers from 1 to n, it would be n times n plus 1, which is my 11 here, the number right after, divided by 2. N times n plus 1 divided by 2. And that became the beautiful, famous Gauss's formula for adding numbers from 1 to whatever you want. And he discovered this when he was 10. So y'all sitting, in confinement, in quarantine, thinking what to do, we can also find some formulas for math. That would be nice. Your name would be remembered for the rest of your lives, and you become a famous, whatever your name is, mathematician. Okay, so like, if your teacher tries to be annoying the next time and says, okay, you are punished. You find me the solution from adding up numbers from 1 to 2,000. You know what to do. Instead of adding up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, up to 2,000, you can just say 2,000 times 2001 divided by 2. And 2002 cancel out, gives you 1,000, gives you 200, and then 1, and then 3 zeros. Okay, nice. So that brings us to the end of our lesson today. I hope you guys enjoyed it.